This is the best driver assistance I've ever experienced, just in the negotiations.
Then I can choose custom parking.
Oh,
I can adjust the parking.
We can park it this way.
Yes, probably right. And then you start parking and then he will do it.
But just the way the car has to deal with this is, you know, maybe it feels a bit scarier from my side because I'm not totally used to the driving here. But it seems to be doing an incredible job. I love how it accelerated through the corner. That felt really good. Felt like a person driving.
I have here a problem, but...
And it totally solved the problem.
Yeah, it slows down a little bit too much, but...
Okay, but it's still like that was definitely, we were getting squished.
Yes, for both sides,
and
then he had
it slowed down and moved over. Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. On this channel, we have been testing driver assistance systems with a bunch of cars, and we've recently started a whole series on our new Out of Spec testing channel going through the hardcore evaluations of driver assistance systems. However, that has been primarily in America and Europe. We are in China, baby, and this has the best driver assistance system you can buy in China. It has Huawei's driver assistance in this Avatr electric car. And well, my friends are with me. I'll introduce you to them in a moment, and we're going to go and experience the best ADAS in China. So we're already getting honked at. Welcome to China. And let's go experience their version of FSD. Kai, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing the Avatr. So what do you think of this thing?
I'm extremely satisfied. I'm driving it for 1 year now, 60,000 kilometers, and I'm extremely satisfied. It's doing what it's promised.
So tell me a little bit about Avatr. Obviously, the design is crazy. I'll show everyone the front of it too, because I've seen these on the road a couple times. We'll go through the sensors. There's LiDARs, radars everywhere around here. This is just an insane looking car, and it's really nice on the inside. We just launched it. It's really fast. So it's just this absolute crazy machine. What should we know about it? Give us the high level overview.
What is so special? So Avatr was founded by Qiankun and NIO long time ago. NIO stepped out, therefore CATL and Huawei stepped in. So the shareholders are Qiankun, CATL, and a strategic partnership, not shareholder, with Huawei. So Huawei is testing with this model all their latest technology. Therefore, all the components inside are Huawei, including the ADAS system.
Right, and Huawei's ADAS is, like, for example, Tesla doesn't offer FSD in China. And in an upcoming video, we're going to be with our friends Henrik and his wife. We're going to talk a little bit about owning a Tesla in China. But it's different than in the US. If you want the fastest charging, if you want the best range, if you want the best driver assistance, you actually don't buy a Tesla here.
Of course, people are buying Tesla. Tesla is still the most sold car. But there are alternatives. And if you really go into the details, you will find out why alternatives are not a bad choice. I made a comparison Model Y and Avatr 1.1 in this car here, and in every single spec, it's outperformed the Model Y, and therefore the decision was clear. Let's go for Avatr.
Amazing. So the driver assistance, can we see some of the sensors? So I know you have a LiDAR up front, and I've seen it's super common for Chinese cars to put a LiDAR up here on the roof. Do you know why Avatr didn't do this?
Avatr, this one is for testing the entire system. So it has 34 sensors, in total 3 LiDARs. And the special arrangement here is you have a LiDAR below the number plate, you have a LiDAR on the left and on the right side, together with radar and ultrasonic. So, and there are only probably 2 cars who have those 3 LiDAR arrangement. That is Avatr 1.1 and Avatr 1.2.
So those are really the top systems then?
That's what they check. But to be honest, from then onwards, they also go back to only 1 LiDAR on top with a bigger angle.
Okay.
There are only 2 models out there with 3 LiDARs.
Wow. Okay. So this went absolute. So while Tesla's taking sensors out and they're doing vision only, which is working really well in America, to be honest, really well. In China, for some reason, it's not functioning FSD. So if you want the top system, it's this. And that's what we're going to experience today. we're going to go for a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, something like that, and just let the system do a bunch of stuff. We're going to have it park itself in the garage. We're actually going to show that in the next clip because we just did that, and that was amazing. Kai, you guys will see, but Kai literally parked the car just in the middle of the road, terribly, walked away, and left us in the car, and it went and found a spot and parked. So cool. So cool.
So I can click here, can choose the direction, remote, right? And then you will see what's happening.
The car will park itself.
So Kai has left, and
It's really embarrassing for me as a Model Y owner. The parking for us isn't really good.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to do that video. Upcoming video soon is all about owning a Tesla in China.
Yeah, sure.
So it's moving all around this parking garage. Oh.
And he isn't even looking. Look at
No,
him.
he's gone.
He's like completely. Since the last update, my car would have already shown the red hands while doing auto park.
Right. Okay, crazy.
Wow.
He's like, I don't care.
That behaves really good.
Oh my goodness, there's a pole here. Is it going to hit the pole?
I don't.
No?
I mean, it has 3 lidars. How can it hit something? It
Yeah.
basically knows every pole, the millimeter.
So now it's just perfectly parked itself
Yeah.
in this space with Kai not even looking. He was gone. He went to a different city while it was doing this, and it just parked itself right there. That is definitely the best auto park. What happens with cross traffic, like with cars coming?
He will break down or he makes space in the worst case, right?
Wow. That is.
In 80% you have such a situation that there's not much of traffic and then you just let the car do it. Finish.
Wow. That was so cool. Let's see the inside. Can you open up your side? I'll open up over here. Everything has power doors, of course. So you just pull on the handle and then woof, it opens right up. Beautiful interior, sort of this cool seating material as well. And then you've got wireless charging. Every car has wireless charging with cooling. You have an engine sound simulator. Oh, everything's in English. That's super unusual for Chinese cars to see. In the back seat, very important. This is a long car. It's like almost 5 meters long. This thing is huge. And it's not a review of the Avatr, but it's just cool to be able to experience it. This also feels very Chinese, very bulging. Very, I don't know, interesting look. This one's a couple years old. This is from 2022. So there have already been a few facelifts of the Avatr models, but the driver assistance is the same. This basically has been over-the-air software updated, as you would expect. A super funky rear-end design, but Kai says he never has to clean the window back here because of this shape, and he's also got his cameras with a digital rear-view mirror, which is really neat. If you're inside, you just push the button to close the door. If you're outside, you can just give it a little nudge. Everything can be controlled. Oh, pop-up spoiler, race car.
It's a race car, changed to a race car now.
Tell us what we're going to experience from, oh, actually before that, the charging. You were mentioning this has a pretty fat charging curve.
It is pretty fast. It has 750 volts, so quite unusual at that time. And it can keep the peak of 200 kilowatt up to around 83-85%. So it's a flat curve, and then it goes down stepwise. And the last step is still for 40 kilowatt.
Right, but still 200 kilowatts to 87%. That's pretty crazy. And can we see the charging port?
It's comfortable. Yeah.
So this one has GBT, so you have AC charging, I'm guessing 22 kilowatt AC?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and then your DC charging there. It's funny, the Neo I've been driving has no AC charging, just DC.
Yeah, that's also shocked, because I had a Neo before and I was also shocked they don't have it.
Yeah.
But I think the latest one, they will have it again.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. Onvo has it, ET9 will have it, some others. But anyway, it's all about the driver assistance. So let's get this thing cameraed up. We're going to go on the system. What do you think we should expect? Obviously, as a user, you use this all the time. Is it similar to Tesla FSD, or is it totally different?
It is, of course, the simple way, lane keeping, lane changing, taking exit and so on. That is nowadays standard. So there it's the same as FSD. But as soon as you come to tricky situation, if you have an obstacle on the road and so on, it's far superior because of more sensors. That means more information.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to get the cameras in. I can't wait to experience this. And we're going to go, what is the exact system called? Huawei, they don't call it FSD, right?
They call it ADS 3.2.
ADS 3.2.
The latest one out in the market.
They need to come up with a more fun name. But okay, very cool. Cool car, not a cool name for the driver assistance, but I'm looking forward to trying it.
They call it Qiankun, actually. So the Chinese name is Qiankun.
Okay.
But for us, Western, of course, not that.
It's not that cool. And just to show everyone the driver's seat here really quick, you've got a beautiful steering wheel, like an actual wheel, which is nice. And yeah, just a cool interior. This car, definitely glad we're able to check this one out. Thank you so much for coming all the way over here. I mean, you drove a few hours this morning, I guess.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. But the car drove, okay? I was sleeping.
So cool. All right, well, camera's in, and we're going to go drive. Well, guys, welcome to the inside of the Avatr. This is the 1.2.
1.1?
Oh, 1.1. The 1.2 is the longer coupe thing.
The same length, but it's a coupe.
Okay,
smaller
and
one.
you've experienced that one as well. Which do you prefer?
The 1.2 has the disadvantage that my head is touching the roof, so it's impossible for me to take it.
Okay.
That's why I took the big car.
So, basically the same driver assistance in all the cars.
Yes, definitely.
Our friends Bella and Hendrik are in the back. They're going to join us for a video upcoming as well on the Model Y, which would be cool. So this is all Hendrik's idea, actually, to do all of this. So thanks for arranging.
No worries.
And also Kai has posted a great video to his YouTube channel about this system. So I'll leave that linked in the description below because people should check out your channel. And you need to post more. It's so cool.
I have posted one video. That's enough.
But it's a really fascinating video. So now we're able to experience it for ourselves. So, I guess it's up to you to determine where we go and how we do this, but we've got everything cameraed up, and China's not an easy place to drive, but it is pretty gentle traffic right now, I should say.
Definitely. So let's choose as destination probably Lhasa.
Okay, we'll be here for 8 years. And does it map out all the charging to get there?
We can have the maps here, but we can see all the maps.
Yep.
The different charging.
That was fast.
But we don't need this one.
Okay.
Okay, we are ready to go?
Yeah, I guess we'll just stay in the city, right? We're not going all the way out there, are we?
No, we will not go to Tibet today, no.
Yes. So how do you turn it on, actually?
Turning on is you have to double click here.
Okay.
Right. He has to find the, and then we are good to go.
Okay, so it needs to be engaged in the lane.
Activated.
Yes, not necessary. Can also done from the parking directly, but not all the time.
Okay.
So the safe way is you find a lane and then he's driving out and then autonomously.
I see. So I'm just going to make it a bit cooler in here because Americans like everything cold.
So basically that's it. Right. So
it's on. Now we just experience it.
Let's see how many disengagements we have.
So it's coming in quite quick too. It's got some speed to it.
Acceptable, yeah.
Maybe not as fast for a German should like to go.
No, of course it's instantly available, so there's it cannot be faster than that.
So even with the oncoming cars, it's squeezing our way in here. It knows this guy is stopped. This is an interesting situation.
Yes, lucky he's disappearing, so the situation gets easier.
Okay.
Right.
Wow, interesting. That was already complicated.
It's okay, not too complicated, because we don't have many pedestrians or motorcycle and so on, which make it more complicated. Now he has to change the lane for several lanes.
Okay, right, because we can't change lanes here where it's a solid line, I guess.
Or we can, because it's a special line for particular time of the day. Only bus allowed, but now everybody can drive here. But he made it pretty smooth.
Yeah, that was wow. It decided and then it went. It was amazing.
He found a way.
So other systems in China, I've been driving with NIO's system. It does like very basic turns and stopping at traffic lights, but it doesn't feel anything like this. This feels like it knows where it wants to go and then it goes.
Yes, all of them are pretty close in China. So as you said, NIO is pretty close, Xpeng is pretty close, and there are many others pretty close. Also, Zeekr now has their own navigation system since last month.
Okay.
So they're getting pretty close. ADS is from Huawei still the leading one.
Okay, but maybe we'll see some more competition coming.
At the end, I think the race is now for another 1 or 2 years, and then all the Chinese car can drive from A to B without worriness.
Wow.
So I have no doubt on this one anymore. You will see also here it's pretty comfortable to drive, especially as a foreigner in the city. I'm not from Hangzhou. I don't know the city here.
Right.
So it's just
So it just does everything you need to do. That would have been extremely helpful. Yeah, so it forces people out of the way too. That was cool.
He didn't look happy.
No, but that's
It was totally normal. Probably
Yes.
the
Yeah.
normal driver here, if you look at other, they are driving the same way.
that's the thing. In China, you just force your way where you want to go, and people will just merge around you.
Yeah, because it was two lanes turning, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, which one belongs to the middle one? It's not a big deal. And
Yeah.
there was enough safety distance. Probably you
I
can
thought
see
so.
it here from the back and so on.
Yeah.
If there would be too close, of course, he would abort and then either brake or go to the left side.
Okay, so it's really difficult to have a system driving here, in my impression, because even just me, it's taken me about 5 days to get totally comfortable driving in the city. 4 days, because you can just go right through a red. You know, you can just you just push your way through everywhere, and it's fun. It's who cares about the car the least wins, and I really enjoy that because they're not my cars, so I can just shove myself.
On the
through.
right, there's an autonomous delivery vehicle.
Oh, really?
On your right there, this white thing.
Cool.
There's no driver inside.
We'll include this clip. There it goes.
Well, there are two actually.
Neolix. Oh, is it going to run this guy over?
The police might stop it.
That would be really funny. Okay, so the levels of driving in China for SAE, like we have level 1, level 2.
Yes,
Is
yes,
it the
yes.
same here?
They're using the same because it's international standard. But I'm personally doing a little bit about this self-driving development and engagement. It's not anymore practical. Because what you can see here now officially is 2.99, if you want to call it.
Right.
Why is this? Because of regulation, everything. But I will hardly engage in the driving, right? And I can also look at the cameras. I can do whatever I want. So it's level 5. And now we have a lot of step between level
Oh,
2,
you have
3,
the cameras
4, 5.
even covered up.
You can, because of privacy, right? You can or cannot cover it up. That is up to you. You understand? So therefore, this one officially level 2.99. The only thing which is remaining is experience, and then it's a level 5. So the step in between, hands off, eyes off, it's not practical anymore for the next step of development.
Yeah, I could see that totally. So is there any eye tracking? Is it looking at you at all?
I can switch on the eye tracking, right?
But you
I
have it
here
switched off right now.
plenty, of system, but then it's about if I fall asleep, if I have a heart attack and so on, right, then
Yeah.
it will act.
Okay.
But for watching on the street or not, it will not control you too much.
Wow. So in Tesla FSD, this is getting tight, doesn't care, amazing. In Tesla FSD in the US, whenever I try and adjust something on my screen recently, beep beep, ding ding, it gets so mad at me for just looking, and I use FSD a lot now, I really love it. But this seems to be another
Traffic
thing.
lights ahead. Get alert.
Okay, so traffic lights ahead. But it knows
This
to
one
stop.
is because the traffic light is time-based. If there's rush hour and so on, they switch it on and off. So therefore the system doesn't know are they on and off.
Okay.
Cannot look ahead. That's why I said, okay, there will be a traffic light. Please pay attention. Is it used or is it not used? It was switched off. So
But if it was on, it still would have stopped at the
yeah,
right.
sure.
Now it's got to merge in. Oh boy.
No problem about this one. So
I love how calm you are about all of this. This is so cool.
I think that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
So the camera, of course, is a detection for traffic light. That's the priority. And if the camera cannot detect the traffic light because of a truck or whatever, then he will alert and say, sorry, I cannot see the traffic light. Please help me.
That merge was crazy. It just drove like a normal human. It just forced its way in, which is how people drive.
Yeah, was
And-
not really forcing, but yes, and sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's also getting aggressive more. Right? If there's a gap, of course, he will take the gap and drive in. If there's no gap, because traffic is too slow and so on, then he has to force in with a few centimeters. Right? So it's really adaptive.
Wow. But to tune a system to work here versus in other markets is different. No question.
Yeah, we have to say this system now, we have entered Tibet as a destination. It works in entire China.
Really, everywhere.
Everywhere, every city, every countryside and so on. So and if you have a system who is already capable for serving entire China, the adaptation to other areas
Yeah.
is not anymore too complicated.
Sure, makes sense. But regionally, there's always this social aspect of driving where maybe it's not
Of course.
you
In
know,
South China, they're
yeah.
driving like in Italy.
Oh, okay.
In North China, they are more like Russian drivers.
Yeah.
And also the traffic routes and traffic lights, they're regional.
Yeah.
So you have different system in Hangzhou than in Shanghai or in Shenzhen. You have to get familiar with this. And the system obviously know, okay, I'm in a different region, I have to change
The style of driving.
the style of driving, I have to adjust.
That's pretty cool. I mean, so far driving here, it's driving way more competently than my DD driver the other day.
That's a good compliment, thank you.
Yeah. So, is it possible to try some more city
Yeah,
style driving?
So now that would be the way out to traffic jam and so on.
Yeah.
But let's switch off. So we can switch off. What he's doing now is he keep the lane cruising control.
Okay, because now it doesn't know where to go.
He doesn't know where to go, right?
Right.
But I have enough time to, let's go to the other side maybe, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you can go up. There's the fake Eiffel Tower, and around this
really?
there was some. Maybe we can go this direction.
Do you have an address or where is it in the location?
Yeah, but it's still there. You have the address in your.
I don't know.
Oh wait, I can send you maybe by phone in WeChat.
You can, yes.
Because news site they will close there and.
But the streets are open. The streets are open.
Okay, so it's saying even though we don't have a destination set, we're going straight. That's nice that it made a decision. It let you know what it was doing.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
without the navigation set, it's going to go straight here.
Now he has a small problem, right? Because the road here. But
Yeah.
he find a new lane and then he goes there.
Yeah, it said about to go left at the fork. So
So you send me location?
Yes, it's
In
just.
WeChat? And now in WeChat I received the location.
Yep, and then you can just send it to the
And I
car.
can just send it to the car. If I received it,
Oh, it should always work.
then if you're lucky, it will pop up, right?
Perfect. Amazing.
And now again, it switched automatically to navigation cruise control.
Oh, this will be a
Navigation
great
cruise
route.
assist
So we'll go
activated.
there, then back to the hotel. It's like an hour of driving. That's perfect.
Yes. I mean, the amazing thing here for lane keeping, lane changing, and exiting and so on, that is, it's quite superior. The most fascinating, as you mentioned before, is the parking capabilities. Right? And that's always amazes me if I see how you can park everywhere. So maybe we have some examples of this.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, the parking is because if you live in an apartment building
Yeah.
and you have the same spot, you can get out at the entrance, right?
Yes. You have the AVP and the VPT. Yes.
And then it'll just go right to your spot. And if someone's taking your spot, you can set it to find a nearby one.
You find the next one.
That's amazing. So it's really getting through. What is the typical speed limit driving in China? 10 over is what most people do?
Yeah. Legally, you don't get a ticket up to 20%
Oh,
above.
okay.
So you have a tolerance of 20%. And that's also what you can adjust in the settings.
Okay, because I had my Neo set to 5%. Now I know I can turn that
You
up.
can go up to 20%.
Yeah.
What I found out, because I'm using this car quite frequently, right, 15% is very practical because you're in the flow, you're not blocking others, and
Yes.
I'm happy with the 15%. But again, easily change it.
Yeah. And so there were some other settings in there, like prioritize efficiency. What was that? So there's require.
Yes, priorities of efficiency. That's efficiency of driving. That means, like now, he's changing the lane quite frequently to get faster to the spot.
Oh, so it's always choosing the faster lane.
He's more
Isn't that
aggressive, yes.
Yeah.
And then we have also this assertive, standard, conservative.
Oh, okay. Similar to like FSD and.
Or when you want to change the lane, you can. The car is asking, or make it automatically. We saw it several times. He's doing it automatically.
And then it occasionally asks to put your hands on the wheel like it's doing there.
Yes, he will do it. And that is also adjusted based on the traffic.
Huh.
If there are a lot of traffic, the time is shorter.
Really?
To show. And
Okay.
if you're on an empty highway at night, then it will be two minutes. And it first shows the display,
Yep.
and then it gives the warning. And between the warning and the real serious, you have another 10 seconds.
Okay.
So we can do it now,
Yeah, I'd
and then
love
he
to
will
show it.
really warn.
Yeah,
warn
yeah.
it.
All good part of ADAS testing here.
Yes. Now he's nervous, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's a
reset.
capacitive wheel.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Now everything's fine. If I would still ignore it, of course he will slow down, find a place to stop.
Yeah, will it stop in the middle of the lane, or do you think it would go and find a little shoulder?
We check. Not today. Honestly, I don't know where he will stop, but of course he will slow down. We have the seatbelt here,
Yeah.
which is also giving you the warning
yanks the
vibration.
seatbelt. Yeah.
So and then obviously there must be a
Medical issue.
medical issue, right? And
Yeah.
then he will stop. How he stops, I never tested this.
Right.
If I would ignore it, nevertheless, he will block the system for 2 minutes. Similar than Tesla. So
Yeah.
if you ignore the warning sensor, then he said, okay, sorry, you're not capable to drive this car.
Right, totally. So the plan will be highway over to the tower, and then do you know if there's city roads over to the tower?
It's all city roads.
It's all city
Yes.
roads. Amazing.
But now we have 12 minutes, right? That's a
Yeah.
little bit wasting.
Is there a way that we can take to remove highways from here?
We can adjust the settings, but if you go down, it will be even more catastrophic, right?
Yeah, sure. But this is China traffic.
That's China traffic. You can reroute, I can turn right if you want.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see. Keep it moving.
Okay.
Navigation
Obviously, I take
cruise
over.
assist deactivated. Take
I love
over
how
now.
it's a not just English speaking, but it's a Chinese accent English speaking. I don't know who decided that. That's really funny.
So we escaped now the traffic jam, and he has to find a new route.
Yeah, there we go. Set.
Adaptive cruise control activated.
Then he found it.
Navigation cruise assist activated.
Oh yeah, it looks better.
That's even better.
Yep.
Yeah, probably
So-
much longer, but now we drive even the smaller roads, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we have another merging ahead.
Okay, yeah, the merge is that was the most impressive thing I've seen from a driver assistance system so far.
Yeah, also if you check different testing about obstacle detection, also the ADS system, especially the Avatr, is always leading, because he can measure the distance, for example, available if he can pass through, or he has to stop or left or right.
Oh yeah.
He's doing this quite well. If there would be a box on the floor, he will make the right judgment to stop or pass by.
Or maybe it will fit underneath.
Therefore, you feel really safe once you get used to the habits of the car, because you know what it's capable of.
Right, it's always scary the first time because you don't know what it knows versus doesn't know. But once you get used to it, then you can be
Yes.
more trusting.
Like a normal driver, right? Every driver is different, and once you get used to the driver. So my wife is comfortable to drive with me because she knows my driving style.
Right.
And the same is for autonomous driving. You have to get used to.
Yeah, totally. And the system responds pretty quickly in here. Which is nice. And then this brings us back to the center position.
Yes, correct. That's sensor. And this one is a feedback button.
Oh.
So when you find out that something is abnormal, you just click it and then a few seconds backward, and as long as you record, it will be sent to Huawei.
Do you
for
think
optimization.
they listen to this?
Yes, of course, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Because I'm
They
not
got
sure
it.
Tesla
Everything
listens.
it's not like somebody is sitting in the call center and waiting for a call.
Yeah.
It's they're using a supercomputer. Most of this optimization of driving is done by simulation.
Okay.
So and the system gets automatically the feed, right? And then the system is optimizing, and that is already pretty advanced. So
How often does it get updates?
updates every month, 1 month probably. I got an update.
And it's also other features for the car.
Also other features for the car, yes, but mainly the ADS is the center for this one.
Right, that's what this car is really known for, is driver assistance.
Yeah.
But it's a cool car. I mean, if you brought this to America, people would lose their minds.
Probably.
And it's just like a normal Chinese car. And yeah, tell everyone the price. What is this one costing in China?
This one, Avatr is a company who has they're focusing on range extender and battery
Yes.
electrical.
This one is the battery electric.
This one is a full battery, but the range extender would be exactly the same, except in the front there would be an engine for a generator. So, and the extended range electrical vehicle with more than 1,000 kilometer range is also the cheapest car.
Oh,
And that is starting with 240,000 RMB.
yeah. So like under 30 grand, 28, 29,000, something like
30,000
that.
US dollar.
Yeah.
And then you can go up to the absolute luxury version, which is 430,000.
Yeah. So 55 grand.
And but then you have single seats and everything. So therefore the range is quite big.
That's crazy. Totally crazy. But why are they so cheap here? Because if this came to Europe, it would cost more money.
That's also somehow a political question, right?
Yeah.
In general, everything in China is cheaper,
Yeah.
right? Because they are a closed economy and we have to close the American economy with US and Europe. So when you buy in McDonald's some burger, will be cheaper. If you buy an apartment in the countryside, will be cheaper. If you hire some person, will be cheaper. So if you're in such an environment, everything will be cheaper. And it was always the same case since decades, because that's why Western company come to China, because they want to have cheaper production, cheaper labor, and so on. Right? So that is the main reason why the cars are cheaper.
Yep.
The second is they are highly competitive. There are so many competitors,
Yeah.
and many of them are even kicked out of the market, right?
Totally.
Disappear.
Yeah. We've seen so many launches and so many failures.
Yes, but now it's pretty stable. I cannot see anymore a big one who is disappearing in the near future, because they're
Okay.
always backed up by enough money.
Yeah.
And the third reason is that they simplify the design. Let's take Avatr, for example. They have the Avatr 1.1, Avatr 1.2, Avatr 0.7 and the Avatr 0.6. All the system, the platform, the drive unit, the control system, even the steering wheel is very similar. They standardize it to an extreme level. And now an electrical range extender vehicle, I don't know how much you're inside, but electrical range extended vehicle is like an ICE car.
Yeah.
You never have to plug in, right? You
Right.
can always drive with your gasoline if you're happy with gasoline.
Yeah. But you can plug it in if you want to.
Yeah, but because their platform is standard, they just add a generator,
Yeah.
and they have suddenly also an ICE car. That means the development costs are extremely cheap once they're done.
Yeah.
And that makes also the next generation of car much cheaper.
So once they kind of get their platform dialed in, their components dialed in, then you're good to go. What I haven't seen from Chinese automakers really much yet is this focus on chassis performance, driveline stuff. They're all fast, but they're not like obsessing over efficiency, and like, you know, like Lucid makes very power dense drive units. They're small, they're extremely powerful, but I haven't really seen the Chinese automakers like care about some of those little details.
You have all kind of models in China. For example, the Zeekr 001 FR.
Yeah, crazy one. Carbon wrapped rotors.
1,300 horsepower is the fastest street car out there, right?
Yeah.
So they have the extreme one. Also, Huawei has heavily invested in driver assistance system and also the driving performance system. So this car here for sure will be much faster in the mountains than, for example, the Tesla Model Y, because the system is this prediction of the road condition.
Oh, okay.
Right, 100 times per second it will adjust the different speed of left and right wheel.
Yeah.
And they are also saying that that is one of the main reasons why people are getting car sick, because the street is not even.
Right, so you get head toss.
So you're shaking in milli, hardly to recognize it.
Yeah.
But the system is compensating. Right. And
So-
therefore you feel more comfortable. But if you have aquaplaning, of course, immediately the e-power will be stopped and you don't have any sliding and so on. All this kind of function, they are now available in China.
So we just made a left from the right turn, which is what that intersection is supposed to do.
We had 2 lanes going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And this guy had to get across in front of us, and it negotiated that perfectly. And it seemed totally normal. But to like imagine just putting me like 5 days ago,
Yes.
before I came to China, in that situation, I would go, I have no idea where to go.
You don't need to anymore in the future, right? You just trust the car a little bit.
I mean, we really are coming into the future. Even Neo's system that I've been using for the time that we've been here has been incredibly helpful in areas I'm not sure how to get around.
Yeah, exactly. That's also what I like. If I go to a new city, a countryside city, let the car decide, right? Also here, for example, that's a tricky exit here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
And you have to switch over, and
amazing.
he made it perfectly. As me, if I would have to do it, I would have missed this one. Huh?
Right,
Here?
yeah.
Why? I want to turn there.
Right, exactly.
So
that's been me
that
as
is,
well. Yeah, yeah. Amazing.
So it's helping you a lot.
And so here in China, when there's a red light and you're turning right, you just get yourself out in the middle of the intersection, which is what it's doing. We have cross traffic coming over this way.
Yeah, so
it's
they of course
negotiating.
have the priority.
Yeah,
So he has to wait for this one.
yeah. Doesn't seem like it's
Negotiating.
doing much waiting, more negotiating. And
Yes,
now
of
it's just
course.
squeezing ourselves
No,
in.
because he saw 2 cars coming, right? Therefore, he had to stop and slow down. If there would be
Right.
only 1 car, he would squeeze
It would
in.
go, yeah.
So there's some logic behind, right, in all this driving.
Yeah, it works. The driving here is actually, once you get used to it, maybe better because everyone's just kind of flowing. It's a little bit like water.
Yeah.
It's
The
everyone's-
traffic is
yeah,
slow.
yeah.
In general, when you compare Germany, where I come from,
Yeah.
and China, the traffic in China is much slower.
Yeah.
That makes it also more smooth, but
Yeah.
more chaotic.
Right, you don't get these huge slowdowns as much.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
this is. But just the way the car has to deal with this is, maybe it feels a bit scarier from my side because I'm not totally used to the driving here, but it seems to be doing an incredible job.
Yeah. After one day, you will get used to the system even much better.
Yeah,
Then
totally.
we have all the traffic lights here, and now it just turned red, but it will count down as soon as the data are available.
What's the impression from the back seat? What do you guys think as Model Y owners of how this is working?
It's amazing, especially it's really smooth. So I've experienced some other driver assistance systems in China which are a little bit older, like 2 years ago.
Which ones?
The Neo and the Qiankun, but I'm speaking about 1.5, 2 years ago, which felt really robotic. But this feels really smooth. Like, if I wouldn't see it, I would think Kai is driving.
Yeah,
And especially-
I would drive worse than this.
Yeah, and this
Yeah, yeah, so would you.
negotiating is amazing. I was doing that, especially with all the little scooters who don't really care. They just go for it, and it really managed to tell them, okay, I'm coming now. Because if you just wait for them, you will wait forever. You will never go anywhere. So impressive.
Yes. There are a lot of adjustment to the real driving. Also the speed, he's not following 100% the rule, the speed limit. He's
Right.
following the traffic flow.
Yeah, it's just working.
Now we
here.
have here a problem, right?
And it totally solved the problem.
Yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
slows down a little bit too much, but
Okay, but it's still like that was definitely we were getting squished,
yes, for both sides, and then
and
he had
it
to
slowed down and moved over.
stop back.
Does it ever honk the horn?
No, he's not doing. But in China, when you overtake a truck on the highway, you have to make the far beam, right?
Oh,
flash.
really?
So he's flashing every time there's a truck, then flash, and overtake.
Oh, you mean on
it's-
like a 2-lane road?
on a highway? Yes, on a 2-lane
Okay.
road.
Oh, even on the highway.
Especially on the highway, you have to do this one, right?
What? I didn't
Even
know that.
there's as far as I know, the rule is if you have a mountainous road,
Yeah.
right, then you have to horn in front of a
Oh,
car.
I know this one. So I did that
I
the other
didn't
day.
test it yet.
Okay,
Okay, maybe
yeah.
he's doing it automatically.
I know
or he
some
just
good ones in
ignored it.
Nimbo that we could try because we went to the Nimbo racing circuit,
Okay.
and there is in the mountains, and we were honking before the turns. But I don't know about the flashing before passing.
Yeah, but in,
Okay.
It's
Maybe
very
I got
common.
a ticket for this one then.
No, you don't get it. For sure not. But
For your own safety, to tell him, I'm coming, please don't change into me.
Right. Okay.
yeah, so it's a warning light. And then also, if there's a truck, he will go to the left to have more space.
But you're saying even on like a normal Autobahn style road, you flash.
yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'll do this.
Many people are not doing it, but
Yeah. I
obviously,
didn't. I haven't seen anyone do it. Yeah. But I've seen people flashing. I didn't know why.
yeah.
So
Different countries, different driving habits.
yeah, the first time I've heard this one. Okay, interesting. Yeah, but I've just been, so I drove to Huawei and back the other day.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I don't know, 6 hours each way, something like
a
this.
long way, yes.
Yeah, in trip to the grocery store,
Yeah.
easy. And it was really, really nice, easy driving. The roads are very nice. The highways are really, really nice.
Excellent. Everywhere now, yeah.
But then you drive past these little villages on the highway that the highway's up and over, and the villages are like crumbling. There's really, really old villages through there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to go drive around through some. I went through some the other day because I drove an engineering car from Geely. It was a Zeekr 7X. It was one of their charging engineering cars, and it didn't have license plates.
Mm-hmm.
It had just a little temporary engineering one, so I couldn't take the Autobahn
Yes,
out
not
over there.
allowed for testing cars, yeah.
Right? So I just drove through little cities and stuff. There's a Buick dealership and a Cadillac dealership. Extremely popular in China compared
Yes.
to the US. I see more Cadillacs, more Buicks here than in the US.
But 5 years ago, you would have seen triple the amount of Buicks.
Really?
5 years ago,
yeah.
Buick was a car to drive, and the streets were filled with them.
Okay. The most Buicks I see are the vans, the GL8.
Yes, exactly. Extremely successful. But it's,
But why? I was in one the other day. They're terrible.
they're terrible also, and the platform itself is a platform from 1990, probably.
Yeah, it feels like it. You'd hit a bump and the whole thing was shaking. The engine was
Indeed, it
terrible.
is, because I make the research on this car, and then
Yeah.
I wonder, wow, this car is really a cash cow. Since 30 years,
Yeah.
people in China are buying it because it's a very reasonable price for business.
Okay.
Right.
Because it's a Buick.
Yes, and if you're a manager here and you drive a Buick, then nobody will ever challenge you because they know it's fair price, it's reasonable for business, and
Okay.
that's why they're on the safe side.
Okay, makes sense. But if you're crazy here, then you do. What do people think, like normal Chinese people, about the crazy electric revolution? Are they generally okay with this? Are they excited about it? Because it's becoming a huge part of the industry.
Yes, they are adjusted to. Always, if there's a new technology in China, they are totally open-minded, right? Starting from high-speed railway or from eliminating cash, right? You don't use cash anymore in China, and same is for electrical cars. So this open-mindedness is helping them to get adjusted very quickly.
So there's someone blocking traffic up here,
He's blocking the bus, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, no problem.
and
He
all
will-
the buses are electric.
Yeah, all the buses are electric, and some of them hydrogen, right? They're also testing it.
Oh, really?
So in my city where I'm living, they also test hydrogen.
So you're living
Big
near
scale.
Giga Shanghai, right?
Yes.
And what's that city called?
Lingang
Lingang.
belongs to Shanghai.
Okay, it's nice there.
It's the new Shanghai.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I call it, because 20 years there was only water, and now it's a metropole.
Yeah.
So it's a big city. It's wonderful to live there.
Have you experienced this Li L9?
I experience this, yes.
It looks nice.
It's nice, and as you can see, Li is the most successful car, one of the most successful car in China, because they build big cars, not very aerodynamic.
Right.
And because they are building not aerodynamic cars, they have to use range extender.
Yeah.
So, and therefore they are in a niche somehow. Electrical car with range extender,
That's
which
the-
are not
the key.
all the flat like all the other cars out
Yeah.
there. Flat. But the Li doesn't have to care about aerodynamics.
Yeah. It's like a BMW X7 or Mercedes GLS.
Exactly, and that's how they
Yeah.
can still.
I've only been in the Mega with the crazy charging.
Yeah.
And this one's not so popular.
No, it was a total failure. And
Yeah.
they make already redesign, right, to get
Yeah.
in. Technical wise, it's perfect,
Yeah, of course.
but design wise was too extreme.
Yeah,
even
too weird.
for
Yeah. See, I loved it. I think it's so cool. It's like if the Cybertruck was a van, but in some way, but it's all, just a blob. I really like it.
Yeah.
But in the U.S., I think people have this impression of the Li Mega as being the top Chinese car.
Yes.
But here, no one buys them.
Yes, maybe because it's also a little bit above the price you normally afford.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it is quite.
You have competitors like Zeekr 009.
Yeah, and Xpeng, X9 now.
X9 and so
Yeah.
on, and there are also others. So you have competitors and who look more normal.
Yeah.
So people decide that in this case.
I love how it accelerated through the corner. That felt really good. Felt like a person driving through there. Just, got some weight on the rear, felt nice. That was really cool. And here it's just, making its way. I see sometimes where you mean it should hit the throttle more. Like I feel like we could have gotten up to the line a little bit quicker.
Yes, but on the other hand, you know already the traffic light. Right?
Yeah,
So
they know
therefore, when
exactly
he's
how long.
stopping, you think there's
smooth.
not too much to complain right about this stopping. So also there is some logic to look ahead, and if there's a traffic light, why accelerate?
Yeah, it's interesting how when we stopped, it moved the wheel a little bit. Do you ever see it get confused? Like occasionally FSD in the US, when I get into a really tight spot, the wheel does this.
No, it never does. It's a micro adjustment, and we can also see on the small screen that the crossing has no lines, right? No guiding.
Yeah,
And so now he has to predict what would be the best way. And in such a situation, without enough marking, he has to make fine adjustment. He has one predicted one, but it's not in blue. If he knows exactly how to drive, it would be blue color. Now it's gray.
okay.
The way to go.
So once it turns blue, that's where it for sure is
Then
going.
it will always go this one, and now because we have several lanes all going to the same place,
Yeah.
he has. You will also see the line is slightly shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
But
perfect. But
picked the correct one.
in other occasions, it might be that he has a slight adjustment to find the perfect way.
So what are the regulations surrounding level 5 full autonomous driving in China? Why don't we see it yet?
All over the world, it's an insurance problem, right? Because now I'm 100% responsible if there's an accident happen.
Yes.
If it's my fault, if the car is driving, there's a lot of negotiation. So this is one big hurdle.
Yep.
And the second, there are not yet enough cars out there who have this possibility.
Okay.
Right? What we are talking now is car with 34 sensors and so on.
Yes.
But if you take the normal cars already on the street, they are not yet ready. So you also need a little bit more time, more practice to adapt. Level 5, of course, is another situation. Level 5 on a rainy, snowy day, it's extremely critical.
How does LiDAR handle rain and snow?
I have no problem. Meanwhile, it's driving in rain, same as
Okay.
as in dry situation.
And your impression, like your personal view on should we do the Tesla approach, which is cheaper, more mass market, going camera only? We're seeing XPeng now doing this. They were the first to use LiDAR. Now they're removing it from some cars versus this with 3 LiDARs, the most amount of any car. Obviously, this is this is the best driver assistance I've ever experienced just in the negotiations.
Yeah.
But is that, can cameras do what we're doing? Maybe on a nice day like this? I don't know. What's your impression?
It's crystal clear. So every car, autonomous car, use vision. Okay. Also, this car use vision plus LiDAR. Right?
Yeah.
It's always this. It's vision plus. And also ADS here from Huawei, they have 2 systems actually on the market. One is called ADS 3.2, which we are driving right now. The other one is called SE. SE is also only vision. So therefore they're going both ways, but the SE is only for very cheap cars, right?
Okay.
Because the LiDAR nowadays and the latest generation usually use one LiDAR. The LiDAR is less than $200.
Right, they're really cheap now.
And the advantage you get by detecting object, exactly the distance, how wide is the opening in 150 meter, can I pass through and so on. The advantage is so superior, which our vision with the eyes can never achieve.
Right,
So
right.
therefore it's always vision plus something.
Okay. And radar? Does it have a place with LiDAR?
Yeah, sure, radar also has a place, right? Because radar has other advantages. LiDAR is you have to scan by laser, right? Always this 122 lasers going left and right. For radar, you have the waves.
Right.
So therefore, you need both systems.
And then what's really critical is having the fusion of everything.
Yes, to put all together in this 3D room, right? With a LiDAR, you can easily make a 3D model. So the car is now in a computer game,
Right.
which knows exactly where is the next, and then you can easily make decisions.
Right.
Whereas with vision
Millimeter
only,
perfect ones.
you have to make always assumptions. Is this a child bicycle or an adult bicycle, right? Because the size is different.
Right.
And that needs far more power of calculation. Right. And also we are saying if you want to reach level 3, you should have at least a 2 out of 3 approach. So 2 systems are telling it's safe to go.
Right.
Then he is going to. If you only have vision, then the vision is you're the backup as a driver. So you
Right.
will stack in level 2 because you always have to be the backup because the vision
you
might
think-
have.
Do you think that's the future?
Yeah, sure, and that's why you have the 3 system: camera, radar, and LiDAR.
Yeah,
And then
2
you
of
get
3. Then
out
you're
of
good.
3.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
If
it makes sense to me. I guess my personal view, I'm not an expert in this area at all, but my personal view is more sensors are better. We just need to work on the fusion to make sure, like you're mentioning, that we don't have false positives, that we're not, you know,
and the
things like that.
programming is getting easier, right? You need less programming power if you already have some sensors measuring the distance. Right. If you don't have the measuring system and you have to calculate it, then your computer program is far more busy all the time. So therefore, sensors, yes, hardware is slightly more expensive. But as we saw at the very beginning when we make the check from outside, they are combi sensors. Right. It's one sensor. You have LiDAR, you have camera, and you have radar inside.
Right, all in
and
one
even
unit.
ultrasonic, right? You can because ultrasonic you need for parking, and you have a black box.
Right,
And
right.
This black box, it costs a little bit more than just a camera on top, but at the end, if you buy a car for 30,000, 40,000 US dollar, it's not anymore that key aspect by then.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that it sort of makes sense from my side. I mean, I'm sure the commenters will have a field day with this one battling it out.
Yes, sure.
but
They
but
can.
no question, the experience so far up to this point, you have not taken over once. There's been some crazy, I mean, like 3 or 4 individual really tough situations that it solved without even hesitation, without question. And I'm pretty impressed. So maybe, Hendrik, from the back, what is it like to have Tesla's driver assistance here? Is it similar to enhanced autopilot where it will do the highway lane changes? What does Tesla do? Yeah, what do they do here?
So we only have the advanced autopilot. So you can do lane changes. Lane changes work everywhere, even in the city, but you have to make them manually by using the indicator.
So it went where this one was stopped and now it's going around. Nice.
On the highway, you have the simple system where you can say your max mode. If another lane is a little bit faster, it will change lane. But if there's a truck ahead, it will just get stuck behind the truck.
So it's just like going waiting, and
Yes.
so it's just in real. It's not looking ahead. It's just in real time.
No, it's just not looking ahead, and it's supposed to take exits, but it sometimes, before the exit, it slows down to 60 kilometers per hour on the highway. Then it takes the exit and they are really curvy. And people do 70, 80 kilometers per hour on the exit and it will do 40.
Oh wow!
And it's a tight corner. You cannot see what's ahead. And if you would let him, would have a guy coming up at 80 kilometers per hour and just rear-end you.
Yeah.
And when it merges on the highway, it stays at 40 kilometers per hour and it merges at 40 with trucks going 90. So this is why it's not that usable. But if you're on the highway in flowing traffic, it's quite good. Especially we got an update recently to the AEB system, which now reacts really good to lane invasion.
So
or what
that's
means
the emergency braking.
yes,
right?
but not like the Avatr, it just brakes really hard.
Yeah.
So you are safe, but not like this car, which really nicely gets out of the way. It doesn't negotiate. It just, he comes over, brakes.
Okay.
So it's safer, but still
So
not like that.
really thinking about the traffic flow in general.
No, not at all. The only thing which it now can do is if people are merging from an entrance, it will leave a little bit space. But
Okay.
that's it. But really static, not like negotiating, just if there's a car in the entrance lane, keep a little bit of distance, a fixed one.
So it sounds pretty basic.
It's a basic autopilot, yes.
Yeah, we call it EAP, Enhanced Autopilot.
Yeah.
This is the one we have, and I checked before. FSD would give you the traffic light animation. That's the only difference between FSD and EAP in China. But since the second to last update, people with FSD complain about having lost the traffic light animation. So now FSD and EAP give you exactly the same.
I see. So I noticed you are pushing a little bit to get it to go a little faster.
Because now it's 3 seconds, right? So
Yeah.
over.
Caution. Collision risk.
Because I was
detected.
driving too fast, so he
Oh,
has
okay.
a little bit to cut.
Got a little scared.
No problem.
Yeah, but it still handled it. You didn't take over.
So of course I can always use the throttle here to accelerate, right? When
Yeah.
I want and think I want to be a little bit faster.
So why do you think FSD is not here from Tesla? Because there's enough cars to get the data. Teslas are everywhere.
One big thing is you have to collect the data locally, right? And there was a lot of discussion, is Tesla allowed to collect the data locally or not?
Oh, really?
That was then solved 1 year ago, right? And then they got the green light to go with all this data collection and optimization.
Okay, so Tesla's now allowed to collect data.
Yes, but we have a Tesla expert here. He knows it
Yeah.
better, but that's what I learned, that there was only a delay by data security.
So, so basically, when Elon Musk visited Beijing last year, at the same day, a technical standard was published for data collection of smart vehicles like Tesla, like Avatr, where like what kind of which data you can collect, which you can't collect, what you have to do with faces and license plates. And the standard got published, and at the same day a list was published by the government stating which manufacturers adhere to the standard, and Tesla was on that list.
Oh, okay.
So they can collect data. Then sometime later, the Lingang area where the Giga Shanghai factory is located,
Yep.
said there are no cross-border data transfer pilot area. So in this area, they didn't say who is allowed, but a foreign manufacturer is allowed to export data outside of China, which is highly likely to be Giga Shanghai.
Right. Makes sense because that's the biggest thing in that area.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's all the companies there, right? So Lingang is a testing area for China for new
Okay.
policies. And they also said to open up.
This is also where you live, right?
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
live. That's
So
where
it
I
really is the future of China.
Because you need three things to be internationally attracted. That means a free flow of money, right? US dollar, whatever money you're trading. Then a free flow of data, and also free flow of people and resources. And that is what Lingang is offering, including Tesla.
Okay.
This data center, international data centers.
So now we are ending our drive, heading towards the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
You weren't joking when you said we're going to go a far distance. Made it all the way to Paris. And yeah, I wanted to come here and see this anyway, so this is kind of cool. I wish Alyssa was here. She would love to see this. If she knew we were coming here, we would have had a fifth person in the middle.
Enough
So
space.
wonderful. If we can find a parking somewhere to, if you
Yeah, I
want,
would love to show some of the parking stuff.
Wait, I can send you a really nice underground or overground.
Both is
Above
fine.
ground if
Above
possible,
ground.
but
There's
whichever,
better
yeah.
light and
I
stuff.
think around there was like street parking, which might be a little bit more challenging than just a parking lot.
Yeah, can it parallel park on the street?
Sorry.
Even with a bunch of traffic around?
Yes, of course.
Amazing. But what if you're like in the middle of a city and you've got 100 cars? It does it?
For example, now I have here, let's assume we have here parking, right? Then I can choose custom parking.
Oh,
I can adjust the parking.
we can park it this way.
Yes, probably, right? And then you start parking and then he will do it.
Parking has
Maybe we should
started.
not do it, right?
Parking assist on.
That's really funny. Exit. Thank you.
Automatic parking deactivated.
So yes, he can park.
Over now.
I just love that it's a Chinese accent
Navigation flows assist activated.
on the person. Like they could just use a person with a normal.
Yeah, that's
you
also
know.
not that common in China that you have English-speaking navigation, right? That's,
Sure. Everything I've been driving, I have to like use my phone and have it auto translate so I can see. And when they talk, nothing is in English. So I'm just looking at trying to match that symbol to that symbol, and yeah, it never works out that well. I've made so many wrong turns. So heading to the Eiffel Tower.
And then it will end soon, right?
So will it automatically find parking near the destination?
It depends if there's really available to stop. Now he has, okay, now
Yeah, so it
disengagement
thought-
because
yeah.
we have here a car. He will detect it, first slow down,
Yep.
and then overtake, right?
Never even heard of that car before. Don't know.
So many. Now we have another 2 turns and then he will stop.
Deactivating navigation flows assist. Take over and stay en route.
Why is there an Eiffel Tower in the middle of the city?
This was somebody, big investor who built this housing,
Stay on
and there's the Eiffel Tower and even a shopping street which looks like in Paris, but at the moment they are completely rebuilding it.
Okay. So basically we made our destination and then it said,
Deactivated. Take
navigation
over now.
portion off. It's now doing basic lane center.
Yes, he can also stop, but there was no way to stop, right?
Sure, yeah.
So now we go to a normal parking, right? We said we want to stop here,
Yeah.
go shopping.
Everything is gated.
We could drive down, but
Yeah,
keeps
sure.
up.
But I don't even know if there's a spot up here.
It's a tight park.
Right, and then basically this one is pretty tight.
yeah,
But of
pretty
course
tight.
he detected.
Stop
Click
first to park.
start parking. When I want to stay in or I go
Parking has
out, right, and then
started.
he will do it.
Stay alert.
So pretty simple.
Yeah, the auto parking thing, a lot of cars have this now. But in China, it almost seems more important.
Stay
to have this.
alert.
Yeah, it's
Avoid
about
contact.
the accuracy, right, of how he's parking.
Yeah.
100% in the middle. And that was the simple one, right? Just drive, click,
Yeah.
go out of the car, parking. So of course the simple one, an Avatar should also be able to handle, right? And if you look around, then it's
Yeah, right.
Not too bad.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So there we go. I think that, is there anything else we should see about the system?
yeah, sure. I can show you also more complex parking, right? Let's see, for
great.
example, let's see if he detect the parking here. Can he detect this parking? That would be really
'cause it's
crazy.
right by these things.
Sorry, my mistake.
Adapt
Hey.
your cruise
Hey.
activation. Take over now.
Love it. About to knock over some dumplings.
So whatever parking we're doing, I can also change the direction, right? I said, okay, I want to park forward, and then he would park.
Parking has
The
started.
question now, if you don't have to interact anymore with the car and you have some time to for doing other things,
Yeah.
then the entertainment system is quite important of a car.
Right. Totally.
So now what we are showing here is it's difficult. Okay, I have to tell to turn the car and get forward inside.
Right, because we were completely the worst place to do
Yes.
this.
So first he has
And
to
so-
get some space. Now he's turning to there, and we can also see how he's doing it. Right, he's going forward a little bit. He has the exact distance in centimeters. Right.
Stay alert.
Wow, it even
Avoid
nosed us up
contact.
in here.
So now he will turn, and we can already see he found a way to enter. Right,
Yeah.
and that is not every car can do it in this complex situation, but it's not too
I've
bad.
never seen one that can do it this.
And there are also a lot of smaller adjustments that you said, I want to go more to the left side, more
Yeah.
to the right side. I make free parking in front of my garage, and so on. He will do all of this.
Really, so you can even adjust within the space.
Yes, he has the option left or right. If you're next to a pillar, at such an adjustment, or if you have the parking garage where you only have 2 centimeter space or 1 centimeter space, he can handle it. And he's doing this one.
Wow.
And then he detect all the obstacles and wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if it's perfectly parked.
Parking complete.
Amazing.
Of course, if you want to exit now, right, then you just have to tell which direction you want to go, and then pull out.
Okay.
That's
This kind of
Parking has
functions.
started.
This is
Stay
a cool
alert.
function. And it's also looking for cross traffic then.
Yeah, sure. With the sensors he has, in this
Stay
case the
alert.
cameras, and now the
Avoid
lidars will catch in. Okay, I choose the wrong direction. So the last thing to show is probably all the entertainment system,
Yeah.
because you can connect. The whole system is connected with my mobile, right? So I have here now my mobile connected.
And it's a Huawei phone.
It's a Huawei system, Huawei phone, exactly. And
So Huawei's a bit like Google in China.
yes, yeah, sure. It's different system, but they're different.
But some countries won't allow Huawei, right?
They are blocking Huawei, yes, right.
And it's for data privacy?
It is for not to, because I'm connected to the Wi-Fi. Because competition, correct, right? It's a big competitor Huawei in the mobile business, and so now he has detected everything. Now I have all the apps, for example, DJI,
Yeah.
for
I'm
example.
familiar with that.
Sorry, I first get out, let the car drive a little bit. So, apps, all this one, DJI, and then you're connected to the mobile with all the apps, and I can check my movies. I can even connect the camera to work directly on the screen.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Right.
So
Or I
there's
can-
built-in everything like that.
Check very common thing which I always show is you can watch a movie, right? So like this, then you choose a movie, and then you have fun.
And you can do this while driving.
happen, you know.
You can do this while during driving, yes.
Wow.
When reversing.
That is pretty crazy.
Okay, so
Well, That's an amazing trip. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's how you drive car in China.
And how long do you think it'll be for more cars to get systems like this?
Huawei is now on so many systems. Every car you buy above $30,000 in China is ready for autonomous driving. They have the LiDAR, they have the sensors. The software is not yet ready, but they can be easily by software over the air updated. So therefore the system is rolling out extremely fast.
So come back next year, the year after that, it's just going to be huge adoption.
It's a huge market, yes, and all the car here, for example, Aito is a Huawei car.
Yep.
It has exactly the same system as my car, less LiDARs, but he can also drive autonomously. He can also park.
It looks like he is. I don't think they're paying attention at all.
Says nothing. China.
Checking the mobile and so on, right? Because you don't have to watch the traffic light. The car is doing it.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's rolling out extremely fast.
Well, thank you again for taking all the time. And the final thoughts from the back seat. What did you guys think?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really a little bit blown away.
It's like comparing with our car, and I think this car is absolute better.
Yeah, way better. Tesla needs to get FSD here as soon as possible, because this is, you know, people will make buying decisions over FSD or not. Like, that's half of our comments, but does it have FSD? It's like, no, it's got Huawei. Anyway, this camera's dying. That camera's got us. We'll see you on another one again soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kai, for this. This was really amazing. What a cool experience. Curious to see what the commenters think down below, and we'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.